Hi everyone, it's Christina from Christina's Art Corner. Welcome if you're new, welcome back. Also, if you are a current subscriber, I have a coloring update to do for you all today. My desk is filled with things because I've been working hard on some pages. And so let's go ahead and get started with just a couple of new things that I have. I purchased this. Let me get my scissors here. I have been in need of a white acrylic that I can do splatters or strong white highlights. And so, excuse me, I got this Kuretake White Ink 30, highly opaque white ink for highlights and corrections. We've got a bubble pop. So that should be good. I, in the past, have used the Winsor and Newton white ink, but I am down to the very bottom of that bottle, so I thought that I would try this Kuretake Zig White Ink 30. So that is something new that I got. Also, I got this Vivi Tinta How to Color book for the cute and cozy coloring, but also regular coloring, I think. Gives you some good ideas. And I had seen this making the rounds on YouTube, and I thought that I would give it a try. And the reason I chose this one over others is because it gives you the colors to match, and then you have your color code. And it even says here, like, use a gel pen for your white highlights. So I really like that aspect of it. Here, again, it shows you what colors to use. So we have fire, wood signs, glossy tiles. I could probably use that in a page that I'm doing that I will show you. Oh, look how cute. They did this ghost. That's always fun. And the dewdrops. We've got some cats. That's always good to carry on to, like, Leon's Journey, Kanoko Aguso kind of books. I love this furry sweater and this wool hat, along with this one. Tie-dye. Funky hair. Yeah, so I think I'm going to enjoy, in between pages that I'm coloring, to do some of this. Lots of great designs in here. Yeah, and then see, you have all of your practice color codes. Yeah, I really, really like this. I'm very glad I got it. So that's How to Color by Vivi Tinta. And then I've been reading a lot. And so I got this Crowns and Flames coloring book, perfect for fans of Fourth Wing and Throne of Glass. I'm actually have Fourth Wing and Throne of Glass on my to be read. Currently I'm reading Direbound, just like a similar type of book, but I love these illustrations. And we have Maurizio Campidelli as the illustrator. And we have double-sided, nice cardstock, not super thick, but definitely good paper. And you all know I love dragons, and I just thought this artwork was stunning. Now, I know if you don't like to do people, this wouldn't be your thing, but if you like romantasy kind of books, yeah, this would be, I like this ballroom one, and the castle. Love the castle, love the castles. Oh, cool. They've got their abilities there. Oh, I love this dragon. This one's nice too. Oh, I love this village. Very cool. This one is stunning. A mermaid page. Nice painting. Okay. Yeah, so that's Crowns and Flames coloring book. Enter the enchanted world of assassin queens, fae princes, and dragon riders in this wondrous coloring book, the perfect companion to your favorite spellbinding reads. With over 45 pages where enemies can become lovers, magic is real, and daring heroines battle. This is the ideal gift for lovers of fantasy. Yeah. And it's got a really cool cover on here too. And that's it as far as anything that I've purchased. I do have a couple of diamond paintings that I'll do towards the end. If anyone is interested, I will open those from Diamond Art Club. I figured we would go ahead and get into what I'm coloring currently. And also, firstly, I want to let you all know that in Woodland Kingdom Coloring Book by Toshiyuki Fukuda, I have a group on Instagram where we're going through this book, and we've had some people join recently. So if you would like to join us, we are going to do, I haven't marked it yet because we just voted on it yesterday. So excuse the flipping. Okay. I know it has balloons on it, yes. So it's this page here. If you would like to join us, whether you have the small book or the bigger book, I have the bigger book. Would love to have you. Just reach out to me on Instagram. It's Christina's Art Corner. And we're going to do this for August. If it takes us longer, we'll extend the time a little bit. But yeah, I thought this would be a fun page. And this was the winner of our voting system. So looking forward to that. So if you'd like to join, please reach out. We'd love to have you. And that's Woodland Kingdom Coloring Book. The next thing I have is this poster book. I got this from Barnes & Noble. I hauled this a while ago. It's Kaleidoscope Coloring. It has a beautiful cover. And it's poster art. And I figured I would just start with the very first page. Make sure that I've got it in here. And what I've done so far is used alcohol markers for the background, because I'm assuming we're in a greenhouse. And then we have a bench here, which the perspective is kind of off, but it's kind of flat coloring anyway, really. And then I did a yellow bottom here. And I've been using acrylic markers as well. And so I figured I would give you a little taste of how I'm doing this. I've been taking the acrylic markers and doing some blends here, and I figured I would go ahead and do this Monstera and show you. First, let me get you down a little further so you can see. Okay, first I'm using this Guangna. So let me show you. I have all of my acrylic, not all, but most of my acrylic markers in bands like this. So I can just pick up a whole stack of reds, greens, blues, whatever I need. And that way it's just easier for me to pick them out. So in this page it's going to be heavily green. I just got to pick up my greens. I've got some Posca, Guangna, Artex, Ohuhu, which I love these Ohuhu acrylic markers. They've been one of my favorites for a while. I am going to do a favorites video per your request, and it's something I wanted to do anyway. So yeah, that's basically what I've got in there. And so I have this Artex marker here. It's kind of a dark green, and then I've got this one. It's like a turquoise. So one thing I'm noticing is I need to, I just saw it. Where is it? There it is. I just saw that oops, I do have my page back here. I do. while that's drying real quick, I'll just remind you what this book looks like. It's very, very fun book because it's, what would you call it, minimalistic art. And I just love how, and it's thick paper, by the way, very thick. So you can do anything, and the fact that it's one-sided allows you to use the alcohol markers. But it's all, oh, look at those big Monstera. I just thought it would be great to use my alcohol markers and acrylic markers, pencils, you name it, and get creative. Some oil pastels, some chalk pastels. Look at this cat. So yeah, I got this at Barnes & Noble. I'll put the ISBN up here in case you're interested. It's by Hinkler, and there's 20 of them. It's a beautiful book. Okay. All right. So let's go in with the turquoise, and what I've been doing is outlining this area. This one's a little more difficult because of the butterfly. And I go around these holes here first. How is everybody doing this week? I can't believe we're edging towards August. Of course, I'm really excited for it. Spooky 2, if you will, comes out by Sarah Sedgwick. So that's going to be fun. I gotta stop using fun. I gotta expand my vocabulary, as I said in my last video. I do just find my coloring very fun. That's probably why. So I'll be having a hashtag, WitchCatSpooky2 is the hashtag. If you're going to get that book and you want to join, would love to have you. Let's see here. All right. And then I go in and use my darker color. And it kind of lets that the turquoise underlayer come through and makes a nice blend. Hard to get around that butterfly. For these sharp areas on the leaf, I kind of get the tip up there and make a quick swipe so I don't go outside the lines. Okay. And then I'm going to go back over my turquoise area. I just love this combination of color. Shmoo is with me. He's having a bone with some peanut butter in it next to me. So if you hear something like that, it's him. Okay. So I've got that done, and that's these two here. And then I have a nice combination for these potted plants that I thought I would show you too. Oh, you know what? This is also a leaf. I moved too soon. Just putting some of the turquoise in there, and then I'll go over with this darker green. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so I have the Ohuhu R1, which is the coral pink, and then Peach Pie YR090. And I'm going to, since this is a bigger book, it's a little more of a challenge. Try to get you in here. Let me make sure you can see. So the first thing that I do is, now I was going to make this one blue to match what I might do here. So I think I might do this one. So what I do is I take the lighter color, the Peach Pie, and I just go over the center and kind of make a block on both sections. And then I take my coral and I put that on the edges, through the middle, and I'm going to do that a couple of times. And I try to let this one dry just briefly before I go right over it. Let me stick my page here underneath so I don't get it everywhere. And then I just take the side of the brush and do strokes like this. And I think it gives you a nice clay pot look. Let me get you up a little bit. Yeah, so I thought that was a nice blend to use for clay pots if you want to use them. I think I've got a slight bleed through, so we're going to fix that. Let me get one of my colorless blenders out. Just make sure it's clear. Yeah, that had some pink on it. Okay, so clear that off. And then I'm going to go down here, fix my mistake. And then this is the Lemon Chiffon Y030 that I have down here at the bottom. And then, oh, I see some. So I was able to fix that. Right here was the area where it went out, and now you can't tell. So that's great. Okay, maybe we'll do one more plant section. Let's see, which ones do I want to do? Maybe we could do these down here. this one here. Oh, gotta get that chiffon in there. Okay, let's pick a color combo we want to do for this. I think I might use this one. And what else do I want to use? Maybe this one? Maybe. I've also got that. Let's just see out of those which ones we like. Here's the Artex. It's kind of similar to what I use down there. I like that. And then, oh, do I have a dead Ohuhu? I might. Let me take the nib out. Or you know what? I might flood it with some alcohol. Let's flood it with some alcohol. This sometimes works. Let's see if it did. Yep. All right. That's a little tip and trick too. So I think what I want to do is, let me take the dark green and outline this edge. And then I'm going to come over here on the other side. Oops, where's my lid? There we go. And which color did I like better? We could do this one, see if I like it. It's kind of looking more like the one next to it. I can always go in and put another layer on top. Yeah, it's enough different, I guess. Okay. And then this one doesn't have the breakup in the center, the line. So we're going to make our own. Just like that. And then go in with our lighter Artex. And let's see, let's do the darker on this side. Now I can go in after with pencils. They work over these Artex markers. Which, by the way, I did not like in the beginning because they weren't opaque enough. But if you're working in small areas, I find they do work fine. Plus, if you have to put a couple of coats, it's not a huge area that you have to do that to. That's why I'm fixing a couple of areas here. I see white. So you get the gist of doing that. And then I think let's go ahead and do a blue. I want to do a blue pot or bucket here. So let's pick some colors and swatch them out while that dries a little bit. Okay, what colors shall we use? I think I want to use a blue, like a what do I want to use? I like, oh yeah, that's pretty. So that's the PB4 Napoleon blue, PB4, PB2 light enough. Nope. Oh, how about PB2? Shmoo was barking, so I needed to close my door. He's barking downstairs. Let's see. Let's try out as if it was a potted plant. A potter, I mean. I think that PB2 might be. Do I have a PB1? It's possible that PB1 might be too light. Maybe it will work out. Let's do that again. Okay. Now I'm going to go with the PB2. That one's too light. And the PB2 is Brilliant Blue. Okay. Alrighty, here goes nothing. All right. All right. I'm going to come in and do my center line. And do my outline first. And then go in and make my swooping marks. Yeah, I think that turned out well. I think I want to give it the dark blue handle. And I'm going to go careful since it's a small area. Yeah. Let me pull the light over so you can see a little bit of variance in color. And then I'm going to use this combination for these planters and here and be semi-delicate with that because I don't want it to bleed into the braiding of the hanging plants. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to use. If I want to use a pop color here on this watering can. And then the butterflies I'm going to do in some gel pens. I haven't figured out what color I want to use in the background. Maybe you all could suggest a color for me because I'm stumped at what color I want to use. See, on the front they did black, which I could do. I also plan to do some shadows areas in the wood blend. So yeah, I'm just having, this is one of those pages I just want to have fun in. I just want to enjoy my coloring. I've written down my combinations. Let's go ahead and write down the blue combination, PB2, oh hoo hoo, PB2, and that is Brilliant Blue. And the PB4, and that is Napoleon Blue. That way I have my colors together. And then for my wood, I'm using the E160 Soft Sun and the E220 sand. I have not used this one yet on the page, but that's what I'm going to use to make the grain in the wood. So yeah, I thought I would share that. And I'm going to, these two colors that I'm using, I'm going to put to the side for this one. And I'll get some shading going on in there. And that's Plant Life. A really enjoyable book to do in between more difficult pages. And I pulled out my Art Therapy Panda book by, the illustrations are by Lulu Mayo, Happy Yuru Panda. This is a large sized book. Adorable images in here. Look how cute. Okay, and let me get to the one that I'm doing. Just gonna take a little drink. I don't know if you all have tried these Alani drinks. This is Cosmic Dust. It's an energy drink. I don't normally drink these, but it has 4 carbohydrates, 1 sugar alcohol gram, 1 gram, and then it has vitamin B12, can't read it, biotin, and niacin. It's all 110%, and 0 fat. And it tastes really good. So if you need to try a new drink, I recommend, if you can handle the caffeine. I shouldn't be drinking it, but you know what happens. I'm trying to fit all of my back sheets. Okay. On this one, I use the Artex acrylic markers, again, because I have them out on my desk. I'm trying to incorporate them in some books. And then Ohuhu markers. And I don't know why I used my Ohuhu markers, because this is what happened. I mean, I'm not totally excited about this page, but I don't know what I was thinking. Thinking that this was a single-sided book, but it sure isn't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to destash my Lulu Mayo books and keep Lulu's latest book, Lulu's House of Wonders, and this book. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I don't need the other books. I don't color them very often, but I love this Panda book and I love her new book, and hopefully maybe newer books that she comes out with. If they're like the House of Wonders, then I would be down to buy them. But anyway, back to this. So I did washi tape for stripes in the background. I created this black and white tile, and you saw in that How to Draw book, or How to Color, sorry, those tiles, and I think I'm going to do it. Just saw it. I just saw it. I know I did. I know I did. Here. This here, I'm going to do that to these. Ohuhu alcohol markers for the rest. And actually, let's see. Let's see if we can mimic. Okay, so I have different colors. That's okay. But it wants a shade color. I can't really get blacker than black. But I could put down some gray. I could do a gray alcohol marker and then go on the tops with some of the highlights. So let's try to do that. Okay, so we're doing, let me just get myself oriented here. I'm going to use a cool gray. Yeah, that should work. So I'm supposed to make an L-shaped shadow at the bottom. Let's see, does it go the whole length of the tile? It does. Now I probably could have picked a lighter color. And I think that I might. This is the, well, this is the 050. It should be one of the lighter ones. Let's go with 020. So let me use my colorless blender. And I'm going to lighten that up. Oh, and again, I didn't put my sheet behind there. What am I doing? Do not know where my brain is at. Okay. This was the lighter color. This is the CG 020. It's a neutral gray. Well, I don't know. I'm not so convinced. Somehow I got some pink on there. I think I'll let that dry first. It is better to have a lighter color though. We shall fix that one. There's always a way to fix things. Oh, so I definitely like that lighter shadow going on. I think I might flood this with alcohol marker. Oh gosh, is it giving it a yellow tone? I must have had something on here. Looks a bit yellow. Let me pick a new blender. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let that dry. That's a shame. I should have picked a lighter color from the beginning. That was my bad. Let's see if I can do it on here. I'm just making these a little larger to match my mistake. Okay. I think I'll be able to fix that with some white. In fact, let me use my Ohuhu acrylic marker because I needed to go over this line anyway. This must be an older Posca. There we go. Just want to get rid of that yellow. Does not look good. Sometimes using your finger works best. Okay. Let me do another one. Yeah, I think that will work out. What do you think? Let me get that Posca off my thumb. Yeah, so it's making it a little whiter. Now, normally I would have probably done my tiles at a diagonal, but it's a very like flat page anyway, so I thought that that would be all right to keep it like that. So that's what I'll do for that, and then I'll clean up this area here. Continue to try anyway. And then I have to decorate the little designs and the pandas, and I'll be done with that page. I'll let that dry a little bit. That was just one that I started because I was just finished with a double page spread in Dramenvanger, and your girl needed a break. So I'm going to leave this cool gray out. All right, and get my lemon chiffon over here. That'll be helpful to, I was going to go ahead and do shadow, highlights. Hopefully you can see that. Well, male person must be here. Shmoo's going nuts. Yeah, so that'll look cute. And I haven't done any of my highlighting in the rest of the page. But yeah, that'll work. I like it. But this is already coming in handy, so that's good. I've started a double page spread out of Spirit Animals by Hanna Karlzon. There we go. All right. And here is this double page spread here. It's a little warped right now because just yesterday I was doing watercolor on it. But on my notes here, I did some reading book pages collage, and then I used the Prima. This is what I used for, so I glued it all down, and then I put these watercolors on here, and I used this Seaside Blue here, that's over here and up in here, and then I used, and that's Currents by Prima, and then I used my Derwent Inktense palette. It's the set number 2, and I used the pink, the turquoise, this color here, what is it? The red oxide, violet, Payne's gray, and the sherbet lemon. Yeah, so I used those colors and did the rest. So once I used watercolor over the page, I wound up having some lifting up of the paper, I was blow drying it on a low setting, and some of it was not fully pasted down. I just used a glue stick. So then I wound up taking the glue stick on the parts that were coming up like this was, and I just took the glue stick and put glue right on top and smoothed it out with my fingers gently, not to rip the wet page. It wasn't soaking wet when I wound up doing this part, but I had to do that for quite a few sections. Like this was lifting up. There were some areas here that were lifting. And so once I did that, I used Art Basics clear gesso. So I used that on top, let it dry, and then I started coming in with some Prismacolor pencils. And then I also used the Prima complexion palette. And I used this Cavern color here mixed with some peach cobbler, and I used the Namaste as well. I just made some blends and I did her face with that, which it's a little bit on the orange side, but I'm okay with that because this is a steampunk page. So she's not going to have, you know, a super realistic. I did intentionally go darker around the face here. And then I started using a gold blend with my Prismacolors, and I thought that I would show you what I'm using for that. And let me zoom you in a little bit. Okay, maybe we could do a section up here. Yeah, let's hit this up here. All right, this is my Caran d'Ache full blender. And then I have, let me organize them here, how I'm using them. I was like, there's a color missing. Okay, so my normal gold blend is a cream, a jasmine, the yellow ochre, artichoke, chocolate, and then I added the sepia just so I could have another darker color. Since I have like two lighter ones, I wanted two darker ones, which is the chocolate and sepia. So let's go ahead and do a section. So I think I'll go up here and do this. So I go in with my sepia along this dotted line here. And I just give it a generous coat. And then I go in with my chocolate and start going over that and also extending it out. I use kind of a circular motion to do it. Okay. And then I'm going to use my artichoke and go a little bit over the chocolate and then extend that out. Okay. And then I need my yellow ochre, and I'm going to start going up into this section here. And I'm going to go back with my chocolate and go around these areas here. Give them a bit of a shadow. And also give a difference in the color combo here we're using. And then I'm going to head into the jasmine. And then cream. Okay. Then I'm just going to go, and I'm going to take my artichoke, kind of go around these little doodads. And then bring it to the top. I think I have a resistance spot up there. And then I'm going to take my darkest yellow, the yellow ochre, and I'm just going to bring it around to other areas and also blend what we have. And then I'm going to go back with my artichoke over here and blend that back in. I think I might have to go in with the chocolate to try to, to try to darken the top, because I have a resistance spot up there. And then I'll take the jasmine and then artichoke underneath. Okay. Probably want to, define this a little bit. And then I'm going to take the sepia and I'm going to go underneath these little screws. And then I'm going to use the sepia in the center of the screw. Okay, and then let me do sepia on this portion here. And then I'm going to go chocolate, artichoke, and then my yellow ochre. And then I'm going to use my jasmine. On the edges here. Then I'm going to go back with my yellow ochre. And then I'm going to go back with my chocolate. Just darken that up a little bit. So yeah, that's what we're going to do there. And then for these lined areas, I've been going in with darker areas. So I think we're going to do, let's see, I did a sepia on the outside. And then I'm going to use my chocolate. And then I'm going to use the artichoke. And I'll use my jasmine. Let's see, maybe now that the light is in there, light color, I don't care for it as much. So I'm going to cover it with the chocolate. Yeah. And then I'm going to use I'm going to use the jasmine in between here. Kind of give it a lighter touch on the other side. There we go. I think I'll do the same here, but I might need the cream. Don't think I like it. That's good enough. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Caran d'Ache blender and just go over it. Okay. Let's do a section here. And then we'll move on. So I'm going to go with my sepia on the bottom. Going to do my chocolate over that. And then I'm going to do my artichoke over that. And then I'm going to do my ochre, yellow ochre over that. And then my jasmine over that. And then my cream at the top. And then I'm going to work my way down with those colors. And give a blend here. It's hard at the top of the page. And then I take this ochre and I bring it all the way down and then flick. And I'll use my blender. So there we go. And then we'll do that over here, just so we can do a couple. Chocolate, jasmine, and yellow ochre. And I'm going to blend that down to the bottom and then click my darker colors up. And then we're going to do the blender. Yeah, so that's how that's going to work. Let me just show you a little closer what we did here. I still have this area here and these to do. But that's what I've been doing on this page. And I am liking how it's turning out so far. I like the contrast between all of the blues and the pinks and the purples, and then having the gold on there. So that's what I've been working on there. So let's give that one a rest. Okay, I can show you a completed page in Yam Puff 100. It's 100 chibi illustrations. A kawaii coloring book by Yasmin Eldahan. And I just decided to do the first page here and make it look like a sticker. There we go. So I used some off-brand alcohol markers and some Languo gel pens. And that's pretty much it. And then I went over with a green just to give it a sticker look. I was going to go in and shade a bunch of things, but I'll be honest with you, this was also another page I did after a more detailed page. And I thought, oh, it looks cute just by itself. I guess while we're here, though, I could put some highlights in here and make it look even cuter. Said I didn't do any amazing blending in this one because it wasn't supposed to be like that. Just wanted to have fun. And let's see, what else can I do? I could do some here. What else would I could probably take all of the black lines out. It was something that I considered, but again, I don't think I need to. I could maybe, where else would I like to highlight? Maybe on her knees. Fingers. Oh, and then we need to do the cherry. So yeah, I at least got a page done in this book. The paper is super thin. You can see the illustration behind it. So I knew I wasn't going to be doing any masterpiece, but I thought it was a cute in-between page. And there's the sparkles on, I wanted to say stickles. Sprinkles. Yeah, sprinkles. I used a jelly glaze on a couple of them. But yeah, it was nice to get into some untouched books. And then in Reptiloids, Dusty Coloring I did a page in here. Which one is it? There it is. It's the dragon page. And it's just alcohol markers and then some Spectrum Noir gold metallic flip marker, as well as the silver. And it's very simplistic. I'll put Dusty's over here so you can see hers. She did a beautiful job. I love her dragon. She made fire come out of the mouth and then made a volcano, which was super creative and fabulous to do. So yeah, we got another page done in this book here. We're making some good progress in this book, and it's so fun. These are funny illustrations. That one's probably one of my favorites, as I love the background. That one's cool too. So yeah, we finished a page in there. And then in, Jugon. I'm always going to forget that. Anyway, Jugon by Holly Sanders. I did finish this whip that I had in here. So on this one, I used Distress ink in the background. And, oh, I see I need to change something. I didn't put the red in here. Okay. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. All right. So I used Distress ink, Arctic's acrylic markers, Ohuhu, Kelly Art, and Copics for the alcohol markers. I used polychromo pencils and then glitter and metallic gel pens, just many of them. And I'll tip it around so you can see them all. I had a fabulous time doing this page. It's one, again, that I started in between other pages you all know about a month ago. And it was just really nice to just do something strictly loose and going with the flow. I had no preconceived ideas on what I wanted to do. I started out with the Distress inks in the background, and that kind of set the tone. And then if you all saw one of my other update videos, I wound up using a in fact, I wound up using a gray to underline underneath the butterflies to give them a little bit of shadow. Yeah. There we go. See if there are any other ones that I missed. I think we're good. But yeah, I, did the acrylic for these flowers and so many gel pens. I love mixed media pages, so whenever I can do one, such as the one that you saw me working in Hanna Karlzon Spirit Animals, just love to do those things. It's kind of my background before I got into coloring, so I enjoy being able to use lots of different mediums, and I think I got that effect with this one. So that is my first finished page, and see, I cannot get it through my thick skull. Wait, she had it on the back. Jugun, because I want to say Jagan. Jugun. So yeah, that was an untouched book as well that I got one out of. And then Dana's coloring obsession and I, we wound up doing a page in Disney Portraits. And we wound up doing Stitch. She let me find. There he is. There's Stitch. I wound up using acrylic markers for the whole thing. And I wound up using a stencil to add these little flowers here. And yeah, it's very simple, but enjoyed it nonetheless. And I'll put Dana's here. She also altered her page as well and has a beautiful metallic like washi tape stripe. And I love her stitch as well. She got rid of the background trees, and I think it looks cool. So thank you, Dana, for coloring in this book with me. We've got another one planned for next month. Let's see, I think I've gotten a little further in the Legendary Landscapes book to be able to show you. This is by these folks here, and it's a humongous book. Yeah, I got a little further here. So I wound up taking a ruler and extending my sun rays out with acrylic marker. And I stopped it at the light blue because we're getting into a darker sky. And I wound up using acrylic marker as a base for the trees, the grass. I also had made a mistake originally and made this like water splashes, but then realized that it's bushes. So I changed that up a little bit, did some blending. I also fixed a little bit down here. I'm not quite finished with that, but I wanted to bring the colors from the sky into the water. And then I finished these rocks over here as far as their base. And then I also did the basing of these trees here. And I'm going to go in with my Harmonia set by Castle Arts to finish up the page. So yeah, having a very enjoyable time taking some of my books and just doing pieces at a time. So it's very nice. I did do some shadowing around the sun itself, and I've got some yellow shadowing on these clouds that it's reaching. So yeah, that's the update on my Legendary Landscapes book. Okay, GodJul is going to be the last one that I show you. I want to remind everyone that I have a hashtag GodJul all year, and that's going to count for the Merry Christmas book too. So if you want to work out of this book and be a part of a hashtag, just go ahead and use that hashtag. I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen. And that way you can work on this all year round. So I have this page going. I did a little more of the shading on this one here. Still have some to go. I have a couple more days maybe to get to that. I did bleed through on my spine on my granulating watercolors, so not terribly happy with that. And this is my pastel ink and then white gesso over the top. So I'll be working on these 2 pages. And then I have this page here that I'm going to go in with blues, purples, pinks, and then I'm going to do something in the background, not sure what. If you have any suggestions for me, please holla. And let's see here. I think that's it as far as I'm going to keep whips in here and just keep tackling them bit by bit so that I can have some projects that are always available for me to work on. And this one's the closest to being done, so I want to finish this one here. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing in GodJul, but I wanted to remind you that I have that hashtag. If you all are getting your Merry Christmas books, that you can join in that hashtag again if you would like. And I think I'm going to call it here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I veered away from a completed pages video this month because there's a couple of double page spreads that my coloring friends and groups are not completely finished with. So I wanted to go ahead and just show you kind of some other things that I finished and some things that I've been working on, and do a little coloring with you, show you a couple items. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I was going to go ahead and insert my diamond painting, 2 diamond paintings in here, but I think I will save that for another video. Don't forget that I'm going to be doing hashtag WitchCatSpooky2, when the new spooky book comes out by Sarah Sedgwick. So if you have pre-ordered and you're waiting for that to come, I think mine's coming between August 3rd and 5th. And I'll be probably picking the intro page so that while people are getting their books, they don't feel like they're getting behind on a full page, right? So looking forward to that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Please be sure to give a like and subscribe if you're new. We have lots of fun things that we're doing here, and I'm going to work on getting you a 10 favorites video, like a 10 favorite books. That'll be really hard. 10 favorite supplies. Maybe I might even do some fails, some supplies that were fails. So anyway, go ahead and leave a comment for me. I love hearing from you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy coloring. Take care. Bye-bye.